Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another weekly weigh-in. Every Saturday, I sit down with you guys and talk about my weight loss journey. Um, I've done, I've tried to lose weight over here on my YouTube channel forever. Since I started my channel. Actually, when I first started, that's what all my channel was about. 8 years ago, close to 9 years ago. So, it's been something that's been a big part of my life. And I just think that as I'm actually being successful losing weight, it's been really kind of a different experience sharing that because for so many years I have struggled to lose weight and, would try something, it wouldn't work, I would fall off the wagon, I would try something else. And it's just been kind of a hard struggle. And so I'm actually succeeding now. So it's been really fun to sit down and talk to you guys about what I'm doing, how the week's been going, and it's been really helpful for me to have this platform to just kind of also get my thoughts together and share with you and hear how you're doing. So let me know if you're on a weight loss journey or even a health journey. Maybe you're not trying to lose weight, but just get healthier. Let me know how your week has been going down below in the comments. We don't all have to do the same thing to encourage and support each other. And so, what works for me may not work for you, and what works for you may not work for me. And in no way am I saying what I'm doing is something that you have to do. All I'm doing is sharing what I'm doing, if that makes sense. And so I really appreciate all of the support and love. It's been awesome to get to connect with you guys and kind of share my thoughts and my feelings each week. And I'm just really excited. So if you're new, I am on Optavia and I started back in October. And I just looked it up because I couldn't remember. I'm starting week 18 now, so I just finished up week 17. 17 weeks, I have lost almost 45 pounds, and it's been really amazing to see the number on the scale go down. It's been very surreal. It's been very shocking. I don't know. It just feels like so crazy to like step on the scale and see the number keep going down, to put on clothes and see them getting bigger and bigger, to like see in my face I'm losing weight, my body. It's just been really weird because like I said, I've been trying to lose weight my whole entire adult life and have not been successful. I'm not one of those people that will say to you, I've lost all my weight and gained it all back, and I've lost it all again and gained it all back. Like, I had trouble losing it, period. And so, I would lose 5 or 10 pounds and then gain it back, but I never lost all my weight. I haven't been the size I am now, the weight I am now, since I was in college, and I'm 37. So it's been a while. Last week, this is gonna be kind of like a 2-in-1 because last week I did not post a weigh-in video. I sat down to do it on Friday and I was just completely burned out. I just needed a break. I post daily videos and I have for years. And I don't like to miss. I really like the consistency of posting, but I actually took 2 days off of YouTube last week and I just needed it for my mental health. I love what I do on YouTube. I love how flexible it is. I love getting to connect with you guys, but at the same time, like, it can be a lot, and it can be a lot to get on and share your feelings and be real and vulnerable all the time. And that's what I try to be. So I just wasn't in the headspace. I didn't feel like doing it. So I just took some time off. So this is me kind of like a 2-in-1. So let's talk about last week and then we'll talk about this week. I did the same things, but I got different results, and I know exactly why. We're going to talk about it because sometimes the number on the scale is not reflective of the kind of week you've had. It's an indicator, but it's not the whole picture. So last week I lost 2.2, I believe. And if you want to get more like the minute I weigh in kind of updates, follow me on Instagram. I always post in my stories, my weigh in and my chart and how it's going. So Bless Jess 86 Monday morning, you'll see that go up on my stories. But if not, you can just find out here on Saturdays. 2.2 pounds, great weight loss. That put me right around 45 pounds lost. And yeah, just kept, you know, kept going into the next week. Didn't really change anything. I have been working really hard at increasing my water consumption the last couple weeks. I noticed I had kind of slacked off on that. I'm not a person, we've talked about this, I'm not a person that likes to drink water. I don't like to drink anything besides coffee, really. I don't get thirsty. I wish I was more of like a drinker, but I'm just not. And so I've really been trying to, increase and pay attention to my water and like make it a big focus. And I've been doing really great with that. But this past week when I stepped on the scale, I knew it was going to be either a lower loss, not as much, or a gain. And I haven't gained at all this whole time I've been on the weight loss journey. And, it's just been keeping going down. So a couple times I had like a very small loss, but it was still a loss. And so this week I knew there was a possibility I could gain. I could just feel it. The first reason is because I was on my period and it was horrible. It was a horrible period. Like I could just feel the inflammation in my body. As women, it is a thing that we have to just expect. When that time of the month it is, you're not gonna probably have as good, or I've found you're probably not gonna have as good of a weight loss. Not everybody's like that, but it's definitely me. You got lots of stuff going on in your body. It's hormones, it's, inflammation, all of that. So I had that going on. Also, I have just had a very stressful and emotional week. Nothing specific, except one specific thing is very much lack of sleep. Lack of sleep. My autistic son was up multiple nights, very, very many hours up, and that definitely affects me. I get super sleep deprivation is a real thing. It is like a real thing. And I get super like exhausted and emotional. And that just really does. Sleep, I have found, definitely impacts my weight loss. Also, I just been feeling kind of down, and we're going to talk about that. But that stress and like the emotions going in with my period, I definitely think both of those things contributed to the scale not moving. Also, it could just be my body being like, you have lost every week for 17 weeks, like hold up here, So I am not upset about it. It was just 0.2 much of a gain, 0.2 pounds. That is nothing. That is pretty much to me like you just stayed the same. So I am totally cool with that. I was not upset by that at all. And I know like we'll make up for that, next week probably. And it's just one of those things. And when I told people on Instagram, and I think I mentioned it maybe a little bit in a vlog, that I was having an emotional time, maybe the scale wasn't moving as much, and people kind of assumed, well, you seem sadder since you've started your weight loss journey. Is your sadness, your like kind of feeling down, is that tied to your weight loss? And 100% I will tell you no. There is a small little correlation, which I will talk about. But y'all, if you don't know, I have gone through a very stressful year. If you look at the top stressors that stress people out, like there's a list. Me and David laugh when we see this list because like all of them we have had in the last year, besides death in the family, thank God, no deaths in the family, but a move, a job change, church change, like a lot. There's been a lot of stress. Moving away from friends and family is hard. Moving to a city that you don't know anyone, hard. And I think for so long I was strong and like put on a happy face for my kids, for my husband. Like, we just did what we had to do. Not to say that I didn't cry sometimes and that I didn't talk about how things were hard, but like mentally, I just tried to be strong for everybody. And I think now that they're doing okay, I'm kind of processing everything that happened. And still at times being sad about having to move, being sad about moving from friends, being sad about moving from our house and the city that we lived in Indiana that I loved, and moving here. And even though, our city is fine, our house is fine. For some reason, I just don't feel a strong connection to either one. And I think it's just going to take some time. I don't know why. Like, our house here is beautiful, it's great, but it's not my favorite place we've ever lived. And I truly loved where we lived in Indiana. And so I don't know, like I've just been having to I've just been thinking a lot about that and like trying to put a positive side to it. But I think it's just going to take some time. So the small correlation I can see weight loss impacting my level of happy or sad is in the fact of, because I can't turn to a bag of Doritos as like my emotional support, which sounds so stupid, but that's honestly how I dealt with stress my whole life. I've had to feel the feelings and try to deal with them in a different way. And so that has been challenging. Um, I used food as a drug and I used it to calm myself down if I felt upset, if I felt overwhelmed, if I felt stressed. Well, I would just eat a bunch and then I would feel better, sort of like for a short time, and then it'd make you feel worse. But because I'm not doing that, I think I am letting myself feel the feelings of sadness. I feel lonely sometimes. I don't have a lot of friends here yet. And it's hard. Like, it's hard to feel that loneliness and to feel like you're missing your family, you're missing your friends, and, you're not super happy about, leaving places you loved to go somewhere that you just don't feel that connection yet. And so it's been difficult. It has been difficult, but I know like this is where as a Christian you have to go, yes, I don't feel happy right now. I'm going through a time where I'm not feeling super happy, but we can still have joy because happiness happiness is dependent on what's happening in our life. Joy we get from God and it's not dependent on our circumstances. And so I've really been trying to put my mind and renew my mind with joy and with Jesus and go, you know what? Maybe I'm going through a hard time emotionally, but I can still have joy. And so, also, learning some techniques. Let me know if you have any good stress relief techniques that aren't food. Um, One for me is definitely a bubble bath. A bubble bath can make me so much happier. It can just, like, I don't know, it can just relax me. It can make me feel really good. It can distract me from maybe feeling kind of sad. Spending time with family, spending time with my husband and my kids, that definitely fills my like love tank up. Connecting with people that I miss, talking to family. We had David's mom and dad visit. My mom and dad are visiting this next weekend. And that is helpful. Just feeling like you can talk to someone, even if you cry, even if you vent, um, talking to someone and sharing your feelings and have them hear you and encourage you, that definitely helps. And so I know this is just a season. And, I tried Optavia in the past, and it was back in 2020. We were going through an emotional time. That's to put it mildly. We were living with my mom and dad. I had just had Mark. I was going through all the postpartum like blues. Our church that we thought we were going to be at for the long haul, it was in Alabama. We thought like God has moved us home, like we're going to buy a house here, all this stuff. It ended up closing. Just lots of upset happened like in our life all at the same time. And I knew my weight was holding me back. I knew I needed to lose weight. So I tried Optavia. I loved the program. But in that time of my food being taken away in terms of I can't have, all this junk food, I can't eat. Like to me, like eating until I'm stuffed is what I want to do. I don't want to just eat 3 cookies, like small cookies. I want to have like the whole bag. I want to have the whole bag of chips. I want to eat and eat and eat so I don't feel anything. And so I didn't learn while I was on Optavia, I didn't learn how to deal with that stress in a different way. I just had my food taken away and I felt so sad. And honestly, like I remember like fantasizing about food, and it's all I could think about, and I felt really sad, and I didn't have a way to cope. And so I didn't last on it. And I told you guys, I have a whole video about it. I told you guys, like, this isn't working. I feel really sad, and I went off of it. Looking back now, I see what happened. It wasn't the program's fault. It was that I didn't have the right tools, and maybe it wasn't the right time. And so when I finally got to my breaking point in October, I remembered the plan. And we go through things for a reason. I feel like God works all things together for good. I know He does. So I remember the program. I remember really liking it. And so I was like, this time I need to do the work on myself so that when these feelings come up, I don't fall apart. And so I'm very proud of myself this week. This is my win for the week, not turning to food, even though I'm going through an emotional hard time, not giving up on the program because I can't do the bad behaviors with food that would make me feel good for like 10 minutes and then it would make me feel worse. And so I'm very proud of myself for that. And I just share with you that there is hope. If you're struggling with your food, if you're struggling with overeating, if you're struggling with your diet plan, like, there is hope. We don't have to struggle forever. I really did think I was just going to be overweight forever. I was just going to be on a diet forever because I could never do it longer than like a month or two, and then I would give up and try something new. And so that's why I share this. That's why I'm like being very vulnerable and sharing like the times I failed and why I think I did. And if I could help anyone else not have to go through that to learn that lesson, I think sometimes we do have to go through it to learn. But anyway, I am very proud of myself, and, not hiding. I did take a couple days off and didn't really do much. But then I just got right back out there. I talked to my coach about these feelings. I didn't hide away in a room and just say, forget all of it, which is honestly what I wanted to do. And so, anyway, I hope that makes any sort of sense. It makes sense to me, but I feel like I'm also just rambling. And so going into this next week, I just have tried to give myself some grace and realize that this doesn't have to happen. This isn't going to be like 1 minute I have these bad feelings about food, and then there's this magical program and it changes and I'm perfect around food. This is a mental journey as much as it is a physical one. And so, anyway, that's just been kind of what's been going on. And I know things are going to get better. Like, we haven't even been here a full year yet. I think this will feel like home more and more. But, I have my family, my kids, and my husband here, and anywhere we are is home, wherever we are. And so the ministry and moving and all the things, my husband and I, we've been married almost 15 years, and moving around, and see, like, when we move, it's not just like one little part of our life. It's our whole life changes, because when we move, our friends were at a church, our family, like David's job is the church, our life is the church. And then so when we move to a new church, it's like everything changes, where we live, the new dynamics of the job, the new friends, the new, change of school and doctors and all this stuff. So it's like a total change. And we've done this now, for years, like for a whole marriage. We've moved from Texas to Georgia to Alabama to Indiana to Arkansas, and it's just been a lot to process. And so I'm very thankful God has been with us every step of the way. I could tell you time and time again, He was so faithful. But it also has been very hard. It's been very hard for me to make new friends everywhere we've gone. It's been very hard to feel like you're starting all the way over, and with your life. It's just like, it's been hard. And so I'm also trying to give myself grace there too. Like, it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be superwoman. Like, it's okay. And so I've just been going through some emotional stuff, and I think I've buried it down so long that now it's starting to come back up, and I need to process it in a healthy way so that God can heal it. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. Little quick tidbit on David, because I told you guys he started program a couple weeks ago. He has done amazing. I think the first week he lost over 9 pounds. The second week he lost 4.5 pounds. It has been wonderful for us to do this together. It's been amazing. And it's helped and encouraged me. He has. And I hope I can do the same thing for him. And it's been really cool to like get healthy together. And I'm super proud of him. And anyway, if you guys want any information about the program, I do coach on this program, and it's been great for me to have people that I can encourage and help. That helps me too. So let me know either in an email, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram and let me know that you want more information, and we can get, there's different options so we can figure out what's best for you. But this has been a true blessing to me and to David too. He told me, he's like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done. And it truly has been. Like, there's no like trying to figure stuff out. Like, it is a very simple and convenient program. And so I would love to help you out if you're struggling. I love you all. I will talk to you later. Let's go do another week. Again, let me know down below how your week has been, and I'll see you guys next time. If you like the video, you want me to keep doing them, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Definitely check and make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys next time.